Test, test, test. 1, 2, 1, 2. Test, test. 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think you can. Test, test. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, check. 1, 2. Okay. Welcome to the pre-show. We're just getting everything ready here, just setting up the cameras. Yeah, just stepping outside here, gonna hook up the beta cam. All the lines are ran. So we're just gonna open the door, get in there, get out here. It's a beautiful evening. Should have a very nice shot of the cabin, of the sunset. Beta, I gotta take a picture of the beta cam when it's all set up, because yeah, looks pretty cool. Grabbing the tripod. Oh, I think we have everything ready. I think we should be good to go, start on time. Tonight's gonna be a fun one. Got lots of different content and some surprise footage that I shot myself today. 20 minutes of surprise footage. So we'll use that also in the jam. It's gonna be a very fun time. So I'm glad if you can join me. All right, we got, should have a plug in here somewhere. Yep, right here. Just turning on the camera, setting it up, hooking up the lines. SDI video out. Standard definition. Fire this baby up. Maybe I'll raise it up a bit too. Do I trust this though? I don't know. It's a heavy frickin' camera on there. All right, we're gonna have a shot very soon. Focusing up. There. Gotta trust the weight here. It's a heavy camera. All right, last check. Got my van parked out front. Let's see how she looks. Lines through. I should have made a dedicated hole for lines going through the window right now. That's okay. Hopefully we can keep the mosquitoes out if I stuff the curtain in the crack. Okay. Now we're gonna hook up our camera. There you go. Look at that. Beautiful. Turning on a couple TVs here. Fire up the beta cams. But yeah, look at that shot. That's my 2006 Dodge Caravan, Grand Caravan. And boy, it looks good on the beta cam. Very crispy. So yeah, just making sure everything is working and rewound. We're gonna rewind everything. Always got to make sure that I'm rewinding my tapes before we start. A lot of tapes to rewind. And this particular TV, it doesn't, it was giving me issues with the contrast last show. Which is weird. Yeah, the contrast goes down every time it gets unplugged. And the brightness. There we go. So I'm glad I remembered to do that. Okay, we're just rewinding more tapes. What a nice shot of the cabin and the van. I love the van. Sleep in the van, go camping with the van, go on road trips. Good time. All right. Okay, that is all working. I'll turn this down a little bit. It's getting some feedback there, so I'm not going to get too close. Okay, everything I think is running. I think we just have to plug in the other half of the monster. Got my other tapes ready. We got lots of tapes, so I'm hoping there's enough for tonight. Alien Christmas. Okay, what else do we need to do? Yeah, I guess just plug this in. I'm reluctant to plug it in because I don't want to cut out the AC right now. Maybe we'll turn on the cameras first. Yeah, I'm just going to turn that off. Getting a lot of feedback. We don't need that feedback. It's too hard. Okay, yes. Hooking up the cameras. All right, well, what can I say? I haven't changed much. Everything is pretty much the same as it was last jam, which I think was nice. Few things I fixed. There's always something to fix, but I think tonight's gonna go smooth. At least that's the hope. All right, we are turning on more TVs. See if we get this feedback feed. Okay, it looks like it's working. Look at that nice rainbow pattern. Okay, I think we are ready to plug in the rest. It's gonna get so hot in here. It's already hot in here. Cutting out the AC is gonna make it even hotter. But that's okay. That's what we gotta do to make this happen. That's what we gotta do to make this happen. Okay. We are plugging in the big dogs. Ooh, that's plugged in now. Okay. We are fully plugged in. I gotta get better hooks for my cables. I'm just kind of hanging around. Okay, there we go. Now we can turn everything on. Let's get this camera going. Okay, let's show you some different cameras here. There we go. Okay, we are hooking up everything, turning everything on, making sure all the feeds are coming in. Making sure all the tapes are rewound. I've talked about this. It's very important. Okay. Rewind. Okay, why aren't we getting that one? We were getting it. Okay. Okay, overhead. Close up. Medium shot. The TV's coming on. Making sure all the TVs are turned down. Turning on more TVs. Making sure they're on channel 3. Making sure they're turned down. And making sure the tapes are rewound. There's a lot of tapes, a lot of moving parts, a lot of TVs, a lot of VCRs. All right, okay. I think everything is rewound. I start with the effects tapes. Test those ones first. Looks like they're all working. Oh, let's throw everything on. Maybe we'll just see. Make sure everything is working. Okay. Okay, everything looks like it's playing. Except for one here. Looking a little rough. Rewind it. Okay. Doesn't seem to like this tape. Doesn't seem to like this tape. Okay, try a different tape, I guess. This one. This is why we check, right? Oh, the pyramids one. Hopefully it's... Hopefully it's just the tape and not the VCR. But we'll see, we'll see. Okay, hit play. There we go. Okay. Okay, they are all playing. this. For some reason, this camera that I was using today, the high 8 camera, is timing out and it's turning off. Wasn't doing that before. Could it be because there's a tape inside it? Could that be it? Let's take the tape out and see, because it's done it twice now already. So maybe we need to take the tape out. Okay. Okay, and then this one, actually, we want to go back a little bit to get it out of that shot. And of course, the demo always comes on this particular camera. Turn the demo off. That's this camera. Oh, we got a time on there now. There we go. Okay, looking good. All right, half an hour. Gonna grab some water. Half an hour till showtime, so get ready. Get ready. Okay, we are, I don't know why I'm saying we, it's just me. It's just me. But I'm almost ready. I am almost ready. Just grabbing some water here. And yeah, getting ready for showtime, getting pumped up. Everything's working, looks like, so far. Computers, I think, are working. There was a thing with VLC I was going to try and figure out, but I ran out of time. But basically, I'm trying to get it to play the files without continuing the file if you've played it prior to that. So, because a few times with my countdown, after the countdown, my there'll be a thing that comes up, computer screen thing that comes up and says, you know, do you want to continue from where you last left off? And you're like, no, don't want that. Trying to do a show here. All right, everything looks to be working.
Nice catch.
Looking up and out and reaching out further. The lower set are right by the mouth.
What's that big hole on the side?
Yeah, I wonder about
It's
that.
for breathing.
A normal
Help you out, okay?
But watch out for they're often made with butter, shortening, and other fatty ingredients. Remember, even diet margarine and vegetable oil are mostly fat. The meat department is loaded with fat. Fish is your best bet, with most fish landing in the 10 to 20% fat calorie range. But be careful how you cook it. If you fry fish in butter or pack it in oil, the fat calorie count really takes off. The real heavyweight of the meat department is pork, which weighs in at over 80% fat. That's 4 times your target fat calorie goal. Beef and lamb run from 50 to 80% fat, and that goes for veal, steaks, or hamburger. Even butcher's lean cuts of beef can carry up to 4 times.
I have a molding.
Okay. Everything is working fine. So I'm just going to stop everything and rewind. DVD player is ready. Okay, we are looking good, looking very good. I'm gonna take a picture of that camera. All right, just gonna go out and get some photography of that camera and try to explain a little bit more of what is going on here. Okay. Oh man, the sunset, it looks beautiful. Let's get a beautiful picture of this. Camera 1, beta. Okay. Maybe we'll take a shot of this car here. Shot of the car. Yeah, beautiful evening. We had a crazy few nights of rain and thunderstorm. So yeah, there's the car. Looks good. Test 1 2. This mic is working as well. Great. wires. I love showing the wires. The Okay. $8:42. Okay, so what can I say? There is, again, 12 VCR feeds, 4 MacBook Pro feeds. Most of them are 2006. I think they're all actually 2006. And MacBook Whites with the analog video output. And then we have the 2 Betacam feeds. Those are going into the blue TVs. And the nice thing about those cameras is they actually have 2 outputs. So you can put another output into the switcher and then into a monitor. And then after that we have the medium shot, the close-up shot, the overhead shot. So we got 7 cameras. That includes the feedback loop shot. And then we have an internal feedback, which is this. And usually it's more colorful if it's a direct feed, but it's not a direct feed right now because it's going through the program monitor. So let's just see where this, yeah. So if that was coming straight in, it would be a lot more colorful. And I'm gonna try and remedy that by maybe swapping out these TVs. But then I lose the DVD player, which I'm not really keen on. We'll see, I don't know. That's what's nice about having TVs with outputs. If you got TVs with outputs, then you're golden. Okay, so we're about 15 minutes away. This mic cable's getting hooked on a lot of things. Anyways, yeah. The anticipation for the show. Gonna put on my t-shirt. But I don't know if I can put on the jeans. It's too bloody hot. Yeah, it's way too hot for the lumberjack shirt and the jeans. Might even have to take off my socks because it's just so hot in here. It's gonna get hot. It's gonna get hotter. So I shouldn't complain. Does that seem dark? Does that seem dark? There we go. Brighten that up a little bit. The other thing I was going to do was maybe swap out that power supply. But I don't know. I don't think that's the problem. But there seems to be a bit of a hum when we get to the second switcher, but it's part of the show. Some sort of ground issue, I'm sure. Okay, I'm going to put the wireless mic away here, because I think I've done everything I wanted to do. Maybe I'll switch that shot one more time. The car is cool, but I know there's better things. We got a sunset crossing. We got a sunset here. I don't know if that's good for the lens, so we're gonna bring it back to the cabin and the van. Crossing. All right. I think we're almost ready. Okay, we're on the other mic now. We got a nice shot of the cabin and the van, the red van, the red door. The other two walls are also red, so that's kind of the vibe I was going for. We got red curtains. It's a red barn. Accent colors. That's what we're doing. All right. This is looking good. How are we doing for time? We got 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So the countdown will be starting soon here. I was thinking of making a countdown for an hour, because right now I just have it for 10 minutes. But anyways, tonight will be 10 minutes. And then we have a special thing at the end, which I hope I can remember to play. But we're going to start it off with the footage that I shot today. But it's going to be mixed in with other stuff. So we're not going to watch the whole thing. It's about 20 minutes. I will be posting that as a separate video if you do want to check that out. It's just some bizarre shots of what I took today around the farm with that high 8 camera. Nothing special. All right, let's get the countdown going. The countdown is going. Just looking at the chat here. No, Brittany, the mosquitoes actually aren't that bad, which is crazy because they've been terrible for this whole month. Yes, it is a caravan, a grand caravan. It's my 4th grand caravan of that year, 2006, 2007. That's kind of my sweet spot. That's my sweet spot. So I stick to that. I'm going to stick to that model until I can't find one ever again because I love them. Yeah, the pyramid tape we'll play it on a different TV. How about that? And then we can have it in the show. Let me see if it'll work here. Okay, we got 6 people on the stream right now. One of those people is probably me. I'm monitoring on my phone. 6 minutes to showtime. I hope you enjoyed the pre-show. It was a lot of just hooking stuff up and make sure the tapes are rewound and everything is working. That's basically what the pre-show is. Setting up the camera. And yeah, feeling pretty comfortable with my 25 feeds. Like I said, we got the 12 VCR feeds, the 4 laptop feeds, the DVD feed, the 2 beta cams, the 5 other vintage cameras, analog cameras, one being a feedback loop. So with the internal feedback loop, that is 25 feeds. If you want to think of it as cable TV, we're running 25 channels. And the monster has been growing. The monster has been growing a lot in the last year and a half. Been doing this since November 2024. And it started with 4, and then the 8, and then the 16, and then 20, 21, 23, 25. We got 8 switchers. That's how we do this. And a lot of cables. Lots of cables. All right. 4 or 5 minutes left here. We're getting ready. I want to play some music or something, but I need a separate player for that. Oh, hold on. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. That was some crazy Chinese music to bring us into it. Yes. Anyways, thank you for joining, everybody. We have 5 people. More like 4, because I'm probably counting myself. But, oh, you gotta love that click. Gotta love that click. Okay, should I just stop yapping and get to the show? Before we get to the show, I want to show... we're going to start with some footage that I shot today. Here it is. Beautiful stuff on the farm. This was just some handycam footage. Luckily, the batteries still work. And I found a fresh, sealed Hi8 tape. So I thought I would record some stuff. And it was fun. I recorded about 20 minutes almost exactly, which is wild. But anyways, let's get into the show.
Club Swipe and Daily Hot Seat Draws promo, October 1st to 30th. Get entered all month for your chance to win his and hers 2014 Mazda 3 GXs. See website for details on how to be entered.
To the world of
Attention all
Spring
hotel
Crest
guests.
and
Why
elegant,
not stay in
innovative window treatments.
scenic trip?
All now at Clark's Interiors on Broadway. Save 30% on selected fabrics. Save 30% on Creststrand window decor. Save 30% on Venetians and woven woods. Save 30% on vertical louvers. Spring Crest, the drapery with a unique precision-engineered spray.
Your name's also entered for a chance to win a trip for 2 to Las Vegas. Looking for live entertainment?
Close to 2 weeks now.
The human. The pickle's cries echo through the air. Crave centers are stimulated. and a feast for the entire herd. The humans bare their teeth. Their victory cries a warning to other Bix Pickles who might be near.
You
or a herd of zebras, or a flock of birds. Join us as we explore wildlife in motion.
And learn it once, then to have to fast forward past this section every time you wanted to work out. You have to know the where, the when, and how of your private session before starting. Now.
King snakes, like all snakes, are another part of the reptile family. Reptiles are cold-blooded.
Hemlock. But you can see how abundantly things grow on the top, up in the canopy, and there's a whole life that goes on up there that hardly touches the ground.
This throughout Egypt. Pyramid construction achieved a sophistication and artistry that we can only dream of. And the culmination of that skill was the Great Pyramid of Giza, constructed from stones that weighed from 2 to an astonishing 70 tons. Stones that rose to the height of a 40-story building. To give an idea of the size of this Great Pyramid, the capital of the United States would easily stand in its shadow. And if these stones were stretched out, they would span the length of the United States from coast.
The vertical boiler soon gave way to the current style of locomotive with the horizontal boiler that we see today. Old pepper sass was used.
The harsh cold of space. Actually, Earth farmers are simply harvesting sunlight when they bring in their crops. Without the sun's light and warmth, the plants that start man's food chain. Further from the sun, ours would be a cold, dark, foreboding planet. Not
faced with the challenge of the rapids.
Southeast Alaska.
The aviary is where all of our birds together.
System. A few careful observers were beginning to question, put the truth about the sun in writing. Man's ego didn't allow him to admit that his planet is only a minor player in a complex universe. But despite the confusion, mankind instinctively knew that there was something important about the blazing ball that dominated the daytime sky. In fact, the sun has been the recipient of extensive attention even worship, since earliest recorded history.
Felt, it'll expose a screw right up at the top of this vent, up inside. Phillips screw.
Lord Carnarvon made preparations to leave his ancestral home, and Carter too was prepared to open the tomb.
That's the job of the brakeman.
On the late ones,
The sun took a number of celestial cows to a new shiny golden morning. This worship occasionally took an ugly turn, with societies like the Aztecs of Mexico believing that a sacred water of spilled human blood was required to assure the survival of their sun god. We now know that the sun was born from heat and grinding pressure, and lives a life of fire and explosions. Modern telescopes have managed to look across the 93 million miles that separate us from the sun and have shown us a blazing mass, broken up by a few cooler, dark sunspots that mark places where the sun's magnetic field is at its highest. The star's surface is frequently disturbed by immense, violent towers of fire called sun flares that soar miles into...
An entourage of gold seemed to frown upon the interlopers. The glory that was Egypt had come.
This mixture of space dust and hydrogen gas began to draw together under the combined pull of its own gravity, and something beautiful was born. Of the growing star. Actually, our sun is a relatively new star. Scientists believe that it is only about a third the age of its older brothers. The sun is about 100 times larger than the Earth.
They looked into the face of a god. A god once lived upon the earth, empowered by all the traditions of a great civilization.
Or more, which traveled together for several days.
there'll be two 10mm headed bolts underneath. Remove those, and then you can simply pull the handle right off.
On the grades by applying his brakes.
bolts underneath. There's about
large pieces of rocky material began smashing into each other. The gravitational pull of these bodies caused them to pull together even tighter. Their speed and the conflicting attraction of all the bodies around them tried to toss these emerging planets out into space. But the pull of the sun would always draw them back into line, back to safety. Gradually, each planet swept out a path for itself, knocking away or taking into itself all the debris in its way.
And since we're
other storehouses of riches waiting for discovery. Recently, Mark Lerner and I traveled to the...
These are African elephants. You can tell by their large ears that are actually shaped like the
invites you to
and recycle. Installed these bins to make it easier, and they've asked us to use these heavy-duty bags over.
Not taking your medicine. Mr. O'Brien, for me, and for busting my ass to get in here on my day off.
This is footage of my kitty cats, shot today. They love their catio.
From the differences. And still remember, we are all connected.
Hey, what you do again, you already know how to do it, so I don't have to do 2 more reps. Let's begin, okay? Let's go. Short move.
Nightlife. Friendly and professional staff ensures your Freehouse experience is the best. The Spadina Freehouse, perfect for families, friends,
Can't take
and
the heat.
business alike.
New Doritos,
No matter
sweet
who you
chili
are,
heat.
your visit to the
Play.
Freehouse is sure to...
There are over 400 shades of red in these pictures, and no film can capture them the way Kodak Gold can. That's because Kodak Gold film has an advanced coupler system for precise, brilliant color, picture after picture. No other film sees color more accurately. So if your film isn't capturing all these reds, change your film.
Hi, I'm George Joyce, principal of the Hospitality Arts Training School in Prince Albert. We specialize in training you for a management position in the hospitality industry. This industry is creating more jobs than any other worldwide. With our professional training programs, you as a student can earn a diploma that is officially recognized by the Saskatchewan, Canadian, and American Hotel Associations. So if you are considering a career in the hotel or restaurant industry, call us at the Hospitality Arts Training Center.
They smashed the stones into shape.
I can't believe it. What's that? Now, that's a strange-looking object, isn't it?
Well, this is a particular...
Good, come on. And squeeze it. 10 seconds to go.
Eagle populations had greatly diminished. He explains how he would select eagles for research.
One of the first things we did when we came up here with the Fish and Wildlife.
Push through your heel.
One of the most feared...
Isn't a lion at all. It is a cheetah, another member of the big cat family.
Weeks of age, before we would take them, we couldn't take them younger than that because they were just a little too young. They were still being fed up to about 4 to 5. They were getting ready to fly in a week or two, and we... back so it's halfway. One important thing to remember is all weather strip, window weather strip, has a seal where it's joined together. Now, it's a good idea
And
that you
rainfall,
put that seam
flow
in
clouds
the middle
of concentrated
at the bottom, 'cause you
sulfuric
don't want
acid.
it out on one.
The
Don't
air,
stress.
if it can be called air, is actually carbon dioxide gas.
Not far from the town of Wrangell in southeast Alaska is Annan Creek, a place known for its brown and black bears. Naturalist Tom Johnson guides us.
This is preserve a 1940s, 50 era operation for the benefit of everyone. We
looks like quite a climb.
Privately held car.
We're going to the top of the Kefren here in a second. I'm sitting on the casing, which was once snow white, so you can imagine how the sun looked on it when it was brand new.
We want to make noise while we're on the trail, but we do not want to whistle. Whistling, the bear...
I feel more stable barefoot. I need my shoe to be very light.
Only I had met you 20 years earlier.
This mural invites us to Broadway Avenue, which is one of the most unique shopping districts in the city.
Hi there. You're watching City Profiles. Enjoy your stay in Saskatoon.
Actually witnessed by few, are broadcast on television news to 40 million Americans nightly. Of the hundreds of news stories reported each day, only about 30 can be aired on the local evening shows. In New York, 1 million viewers tune in Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Good evening, I'm Roger Grimsby. Here now the news.
Before the camera, the familiar anchorman. But behind the
Great deal of measures that they're discussing. Hopefully these will preserve the plateau for future.
strange jargon fills the air in this electronic world of screens, buttons, barked orders.
Hey, what does that look like?
And millions of dollars worth of equipment.
Oh, yeah. Except it's not millions of dollars worth of
But the day
equipment, that's
begins
for sure.
slowly, quietly, in the newsroom. All the day's activity is generated from the assignment desk.
And hide and seek? What about tag? Don't you wonder what game these animals are playing right now?
So what would you say, that guy's probably, what, 500 to 600 pounds? Or?
Yeah, it would be unusual for them to get over 800 pounds here. Further north, they'd get some in the 1,500 pound range. But, and that's another good size comparison there. The Alaskan black bear, we're looking at 100 to 200 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So they may look smaller and cuddlier, the black bear, but they're still can be quite aggressive.
So that bear's probably 4 or 5 times larger than the black bear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every summer, Alaska's rivers and streams are the spawning ground for 5 species of salmon. At Annan Creek, the pink salmon were just arriving by the thousands. These salmon have amazing determination as they fight the current and vie for suitable places to dig their nests in the gravel bottom. only about 2% of the eggs that are laid will survive to maturity. And for Alaska's bears, it's like someone has just rung the dinner bell. The U.S. Forest Service has facilitated access to the creek by building an observatory from which people can easily see the bears.
Become quite dangerous if cornered in the wild. Fattening itself up on fish, vegetables, and meat, it will curl up in
We
its
had a
den
bear
for a long
synchronicity
winter's
there. I
nap.
don't know if you caught that.
The bobcat is specially fitted for its role in hunting the winter forest. Its large padded feet allow it to speed over snow, through water, and up trees. It has been known to cover an area of 25 miles a day and hunts animals twice its size.
Don't hit it like that. Remember that little tool I was telling you about? It's for getting underneath this lip and pulling this lip out, just like that. So it flips out onto the car surface, right over the wiper humps there. And you just want to pull that. You can use a screwdriver if you're real careful, or like a popsicle stick or a paint stick. Will work pretty much the same. After you get that, as you noticed, we only went about halfway up on the inside when we installed the glass. So now I'm going to get this up. Kind of want to slap it in and down.
And despite being held in Jupiter's sway, some of them assert their individuality. 4 of these moons revolve around their celestial master east to west, while others take the opposite tack and travel west to east.
Look at the reporters, and that's what I'm most proud of here in the NewsHour, are the experienced reporters we work with. I like the way we do stories in the NewsHour. They're often compelling, they're insightful, and they have relevance to people's lives. Certainly people at home have come to expect that from the NewsHour, and I like to think we deliver that every night.
Volume of each. Within the past few years, NASA has provided us with imagery taken from an altitude of 14 miles instead of 3 or 4.
Then let's go get Kretschmer.
Let me make some of the people in the home looking out the window. How's that look?
Give me the whole home, why don't
Oh, yeah.
Shot
close up.
NASA has made the great leap from 14 miles to outer space. Earth is a flying observatory, orbiting the Earth about 500 miles up. It carries 2 independent image sensors. One is a camera system, essentially 3 cameras in one. Each camera is sensitive to a different color band in the electromagnetic
Field,
energy spectrum.
which still feeds glaciers today. This one is known as the Juneau ice field and contains hundreds of square miles of ice, thousands of feet thick. I'm standing on the Mendenhall Glacier, just minutes from downtown Juneau.
Across the same 100-mile wide path.
Walk up there and go across without drowning.
Some reporters let
Winter snowfall doesn't melt and accumulates in the form of ice. As more and more water is trapped in this ice, sea level drops and land bridges are exposed. About 40,000 years ago, such a land bridge was formed in the Bering Strait, and a great exchange of mammals took place between North America.
Yeah, I went up there once, and it's pretty hairy. One slip, and you slide all the way back down, and you end up...
Everyone needs to take a little break for refreshment.
Americans to venture into the bay, and it fascinated him until the end of his life. The glacier named after him has receded over 30 miles since he first saw it 100 years ago. In fact, the early explorers who saw this area...
Squeeze it and hold. Squeeze it and hold. Squeeze it and hold. Again, squeeze it and hold. And do it again. Come on, 10 seconds to go. Starting to sweat a little.
It's hard to believe that these frisky little black bear cubs will grow up to be 6 feet tall as adults, weighing as much as 500 pounds.
The Canadian Warplane Heritage Museum is a flying museum.
Snow, ice, seeping through the glacier or on the sides of the glacier, finding common pathways, and through force, time, and temperature, like you see. These can be any size. This one's not really very big, but they can be...
I'm going to find if I do.
Pushed gravel around the base of the tree and then sheared them off. These trees are proof to scientists that the glaciers have come.
Take care. Okay, Steve.
illustrate his stories, the producer orders about 16 graphic illustrations per show. Drawn up by staff artists, they are later photographed onto cells for projection behind the anchormen.
Information is produced that enables an operator to write precise instructions to the photo laboratory.
No one would label a hazardous product like this.
Laramie, Wyoming.
Recognize my microphone.
Well, if he recognizes you, then he's not going to say what he wants.
Well, I'm just going to confront them. I'll say, well, what do you mean? You bought 10 cups of coffee in a half an hour? Who's kidding who? You bought some heroin, didn't you?
Something they thought was eternal, something called
Down on the rock, pigeon guillemots.
This is a kittiwake rookery. Kittiwakes are a type of gull which nest near glaciers. These elegant birds plunge dive through the surface of the water to feed on krill and small fish as no other gull can.
All right, we're at the halfway point here. 9:35, so we've been going for 35 minutes. The time has been flying by. And we have a couple VHS tapes that are done. So we're going to flip some tapes and get on with the show. I hope you're enjoying this one as much as I am. Lots of weird stuff on tonight. Oh, we got a sign off already. I wanted to show this. Let's see if I can get to it here. So that's the sign off. I have a different sign off that we're going to use later on tonight, but I do love this one.
Channel 8 in Palm Bear Lake and Stanley Mission.
If it will play there properly.
Channel 9 in
I don't know why it's
Ila Lacrosse and
flashing.
Strand Rare.
celestial fire.
Channel.
But Earth does not just help us. Man's work as well.
There we go. I love this song.
Channel 12 in La Ronge and
I actually
Louisville.
found it and I downloaded it
13
and
in
I
La
have
Loche
it
and
now.
South. Offices are located
Not sure
in
why
the
that's
CN
flashing.
Tower on First Avenue in Saskatoon.
Signal is not
Now this is Wally Stambaugh
solid,
wishing
I
you
guess.
good night from all of us at CBC's.
More exposed to the Pacific Ocean. Tides in these waters reach 25 to 30 feet, and when they change, certain passages boil with whirlpools and 10 to 20 knot currents.
The dreaming lazy hours away. Little coat of blue, cheeks with dimples too, tousled hair and lips of rosy red. Live and learn, but still we always yearn to be a little drowsy head.
Abs tight, chest up. Don't lean
Roger,
forward.
all of our they're here. Isn't it wonderful?
Let's unpack everything and put the tree up. In a minute. First, I want to try our new generator.
Oh, dear. Hi, Mavo. Hi, Charlotte.
Hi, friend. What's a generator?
Roger said.
32. For over a century and a half,
Get that nice and tight.
The Voyager spacecraft were unable to swing by Pluto. They simply couldn't get close enough to Neptune to get the gravitational boost needed to fly on to the last known planet.
Sure what is just around the corner. A wall, a passage, or an empty sarcophagus.
there's a lot of toy trains. Now, in case you've been wondering about our speed, it's really quite simple. The oldest timetable we ever found for our line was in the Lancaster Inland Daily on December the 2nd, 1851. We still follow that same basic schedule today. So if you ever wondered just how fast great-great-grandpa traveled, belonged to the...
Murals were painted depicting everyday life, so that these activities could nourish the souls in their afterlife. This is a city of the dead, a necropolis inhabited by ghosts. One can almost sense them, feel them, as they whisper and taunt us with the secrets they possess.
With the University of Alaska, Rick Steiner explains.
One of the reasons there's so much production.
We'll go through the full scenario. We'll start all 4 engines in this location. If those 4 engines start, I get on board and we taxi you.
At this point, they're hopeful, but still a little bit uncertain. And we really will not know for sure until we press the buttons and see if it works.
4, 3, 2, 1. I don't care. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get the generator up and everything.
That's when you just admit it. It's like that epiphany is, okay, we're not going anywhere. It's not going to get any better than this. It's going to get worse, so let's just cut the cord right now and figure out what's going on.
It's discouraging. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's discouraging. We wanted to be in Newfoundland right now.
It was hard.
Land of the living skies. Look at that. That is beautiful. Wow.
By a great gray owl. In the continuous hunt for food, woodpeckers search the bark of trees for insects and grubs.
One of the most distinctive features of predators is a ceaseless and intense curiosity about everything.
Here, a harbor here, on and on and on, to where pretty soon we have a whole chain of industry.
We can't have them together. They'd clash.
Oh, well, we wouldn't want that now, would we?
Woo! Shape we calves! Heart shape! Look good. Not you guys, okay?
Actually, modern science has proven that those early untrained observers got very close to the truth.
Then you can move on to the next step.
We also acquired a 260 Mogul type, number 80.
The pharaoh wielded absolute power during his life as a man. He achieved immortality as a god after his death.
Up higher!
Belongs to the earth. The earth does not belong to man.
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen him for a while.
Lake waters become still and cold. It's the calm before winter's storms, and cold, and snow. Hairy woodpeckers continue the search for food in trees and stumps.
Region, Army Corps of Engineers.
Hurricane Diane in August 1955 caused this region its worst catastrophe. 90 people lost their
You
lives
step
and
you want
damages
where
of
you
almost
want.
a half.
Your tuition includes the use of a Lenovo computer. Choose laptop or desktop.
Everyone's standing up for what they believe in. The only thing in Valhalla is honor. Love those that put
Recognized by
Many local protective works.
Each fall, most of the birds migrate south and overwinter in warmer climates.
On all sides, mountains stand.
All day. Yes, there was nothing we...
Rivers thunder.
Charlie, I've got it. The perfect thing to cheer them up.
You gotta go for it! In business, in family, in your body! Come on, squeeze it!
Geese fly south in their familiar V formation.
10 seconds ago. I'll be quiet for a second. And hold it tight, hold it tight, hold it tight, hold it tight. Don't stick your butt out and pull your legs up. Hold it there.
No, I don't agree with you, John. I don't agree
When
with you.
snow remains ground and doesn't melt.
Public land. Open to the people. After all, it's this.
Snow is a protective.
Open to the people.
Listens to good boys and girls. I think she's married to... Yes, clocks. And he...
No.
They saw that it is covered by dramatic, enormous flat areas that appear dark and foreboding from Earth. Scientists have labeled these dry areas mare, but to early astronomers they appeared to be seas. They gave these false seas names like the Sea of Tranquility and Oceanus Procellarum. Early observers could also make out huge mountain ranges and valleys that cast...
We're going to put the rear bumper on the car now.
You're 16 feet.
If you pay any attention, you'll notice that the rear bumper has more curve to it than the front bumper. All years are like that. The rear has more curve.
Nor the gold of the child pharaoh Tutankhamun, nor the extraordinary architectural achievement of the...
Now, pick out some of that padding.
I'm not wearing any padding.
environmental visionary, wandering mystic, founder of the Sierra Club and leader of the fight to save America's wild lands. No two men could have been more unlikely companions.
Mice and hares.
What would he say to us?
So,
To all
Ocean.
watching,
romantic influence in the heavens.
it has been more than a journey through space. We have gone beyond time
It's
itself.
going to bolt from the inside of the fender, the bumper bracket. And the reason we have these big washers is because the bumper bracket holes are...
All hand shoveled by our firemen. Our engineer and firemen this afternoon are Tom and Andy. In just a moment, we'll be uncoupling the locomotive from the front of the train. It will be passing
Right 1911 to 1914. When war started, flying in Saskatchewan and almost all of Canada stopped. But the year after the end of World War I, a new era began. It was the beginning of the barnstorming days.
It was funny, I showed my brother, and at first he thought it was some old video I dug up from the 90s. I was like, no, it was shot last Wednesday. It's definitely a trip to use these cameras now. You're basically time traveling.
They told me, Heraclitus, they told me you were dead. They brought me bitter news to hear and bitter tears to shed. I wept as I remembered how often you and I had tired the sun with talking and sent him down the sky.
Peppers just right. It's the way bread begins, as an ocean of wheat, before rising in the oven. It's the way onions can make you cry.
Along with protective coloration and great speed, the hare has large, broad, padded hind feet and can run on top of the snow where a coyote might sink in.
Their favorite sandwich every day, each a little different than the next, which, in case you're keeping track, is more sandwiches than the entire population.
The Curtiss biplane was also the mainstay of Saskatoon's first commercial aviation company.
The very first company to be founded, as far as I can determine from the records, is Stan McClellan here in Saskatoon in February 1919. And he got out of the Air Force and came back and decided that he'd fallen in love with flying. It was like an itch, you know, they just had to. And his hangar in this field was out west of St. Paul's Hospital on Dundonald Avenue. The idea of flying, and there were a lot of people became quite interested in it, was developed because of Stan McClellan.
Not sure how much it would cost brand new, but my guess would be about $600 to $800, maybe more. Unfortunately, this one didn't come with a manual, and I can't find one online, but it was pretty easy to figure out.
Global's got it. Sundays this fall.
Oh, Billy
Live after him. And indeed, the written word is all that death cannot.
Cartoon paper out to Rosetown and dropped packages of hardware at some of the towns on the way out there, Harris, for example.
To protect.
Of the resident birds and animals.
He has all the passion of a
Flying
true
squirrels,
but
evening
there's
and
more
pine
to life
grosbeaks.
than just wandering alone through the mountains.
All
It was
keep
a
busy
Chinese
searching for
training
food.
school.
Dr. Sun Yat-sen was attempting to establish a Republic of China to take control of the country from the Manchus. He realized, even though aviation had barely gotten off the ground, that he'd have a tremendous advantage with air power.
Because the effect on us is different, the meaning of the line in the poem is different from the prose sentence. The hidden music in the repetition and the arrangement of the words bring out some hidden meaning that was not there before. And when Callimachus speaks of his dead friend as a handful of grey ashes,
rose hips and seeds. Snow buntings are one of the boreal forest's winter residents. In summer, snow buntings migrate to the Arctic, where they breed and nest.
Pinchot is a good forest man.
As the days become longer and warmer, snow begins to erode, sometimes melting during the day, but refreezing at night. The first migratory birds, signaling that spring will come soon. Once more, winter's grip is released to spring.
As John Muir and Ted
It's intermediates 3 to 5.
Yippee! Oh!
Muir's role in the continuing drama of the human adventure. Both knew the world was changing. Time seemed to be turning faster and faster. Yet they wondered, shouldn't there be things of permanence, anchors of living stones and trees and sunlight and solitude that we can cling to through the ages?
And you, John?
Workout. The variety principle is based on the premise that changing the activities will help prevent or exceed.
Now I really feel at home.
Merry Christmas to everyone, everywhere!
Unusually low, even unsafe levels. And before long, the pounds start to vanish. And while you're starving and watching the scale, fat storage machine, you are losing lean muscle mass. So instead of looking fit and trim, you're losing weight disproportionately. At least the weight is coming off. But you can't starve yourself to death. So you compromise and return to more reasonable eating. Because while you starve,
Old members of a species are replaced by new ones every year or two at most. While larger animals have mated during the previous fall or winter, the smaller animals begin spring with courting, territory establishment, and mating, all in a burst of almost frenzied activity.
But it wasn't just all for fun. At the same time, there were efforts to turn aviation into big business.
There were people like
Of that quality of life which is ambiguous, mysterious, and most profound, and with this suffuse the direct meaning of what is said. Let's now look at the second of the two
today, the ice has melted. Those areas are fertile crescents of civilization. And the first one is real easy. From this day forward, eliminate the D word.
Now all we have to do is insert this. There's a little...
You've tried your last diet. The history of planet Earth is what it is becoming.
All right, we are closing in on 1 hour here, so I got a fun little thing I want to play. It's a sign-off from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, in 1987. So let me cue that up real quick.
Summer with BITV. This brings to a close another day of telecasting from BITV. Now from our broadcast center located at 22 10th Street West in Prince Albert, and transmitters located at Greenwater, the Battlefords, Nipawin, Big River, and Spiritwood, BITV broadcasts approximately 135 hours a week with programming that educates, informs, and entertains. We hope you've enjoyed today's programming and invite you to join us again tomorrow. Good night.